But if you have a socket wrench and you're trying to play baseball with it, that's not going to work. It's not going to work if you play baseball with a socket wrench. Doesn't mean the socket wrench is faulty. It just means you don't know how to use the tool. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is episode 102 of the Sean Lowery Show, and I'm talking about 5 business tools for entrepreneurs, 5 tools that I use every single day. If you're just starting as an entrepreneur, the first most important thing is your mindset. You have to have the right mindset. And if you're growing as an entrepreneur, you're going to be in stages. So if you don't have the mindset of an entrepreneur yet, first thing you do, go back and listen to my last podcast, 5 mindset tips for entrepreneurs. And once you're on the right mindset, then you're going to have to start thinking about the next stage. And once you shape your brain to have the mentality of an entrepreneur and you're at the right stage, you have to pick what industry you want to go into. You have to pick what you want to sell. But regardless of that decision, you want to start being obsessed with efficiency, productivity, streamlining processes, basically things to make your life easier. And that's what I'm going to be talking about here. 5 business tools that I couldn't live without as an entrepreneur, and I wanted to share it with everyone. Now, tools are just tools. If you have a socket wrench, which I'm sure is a great tool, I'm not the handiest guy, but if you have a socket wrench and you're trying to play baseball with it, that's not going to work. It's not going to work if you play baseball with a socket wrench. Doesn't mean the socket wrench is faulty. It just means you don't know how to use the tool. So the tools on their own are useless. But if you combine these 5 tools that I'm about to talk about, as an entrepreneur with the proper mentality, then it'll help amplify your business. It'll help amplify your business, make you more successful. So let's jump right into it. Number 1, Google Docs, Google Drive, and Google Sheets. I'm sure everybody has heard of these. And you may be thinking that, these apps, they're not that profound. Well, they are. I've noticed many people don't understand the power of Google Docs, of Google Drive, especially Google Sheets, which I'll talk about. But Google Docs, for the simplest of reasons, it's your notes that, compared with a piece of paper, they can never be lost. They're always easily accessible. They can be easily updated. They can be shared with others, and you can search. You wrote down a thought 3 years ago, search your Google Doc. You'll be able to pull up the information. I have a doc that I share with all of my top employees about their tasks, certain thoughts I have. Every Monday at 9:30 a.m., I have a meeting with my operations manager. Every Tuesday, 1:30 p.m., I have a meeting with my sales team. And every time I have a thought throughout the week for one of those 2 meetings, whether it's in the shower, in the car, whenever I'm thinking about it, if I wake up in the middle of the night with a thought, I jot it down on my Google Doc, and it's right there for when I'm ready to talk about it. I know this is the doc I'm going to have up during the meeting. I know I want to cover this topic. I can just jot down a little note, and I know that I'll be able to discuss that at the meeting. It's important to jot things down, by the way. If you have a thought and you're like, I'll talk about that later, and you don't write it down, like the brain will mention, the brain will forget it. The brain will forget to mention it. I'm telling you. This is a funny clip from Family Guy, one of my favorite shows, that kind of exemplifies not writing something down. So funny.
Dude. No, I promise. I'll be as quiet as a guy in a coma.
This is great. I can finally be alone with my thoughts. Wait, I've got it. Predator versus Batman. Why has no one done this? I need a pen. Where's a pen? Oh, right. I can't move. That's okay. I'll remember it. I mean, I can't forget $1 million idea like that. It's even better than the one yesterday about the guys who... Wait, I mean the woman with the... What was it? Was she a shapeshifter? Damn it, I just had it. All right, calm down. At least you've still got Batman and the... It was Batman meets... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I just had it. What was it? Batman has a son? No, you idiot. No wonder your wife shot you.
So this is a guy in a coma. He has all the thoughts that he needs to think, but he can't write anything down, and he keeps forgetting it. And I think that's so perfect. You got to jot down your ideas, just quick scratch notes. And then later, you can search your Google Docs. So basically, it's silly to ever write anything down. And this is coming from a guy with a pencil in his ear all the time. But you can share thoughts, store thoughts, search your thoughts using Google Docs. Google Drive, Many people think that it's just a way to email big files, and it's true, but it's also great for storing marketing materials, pictures. Dating back to a couple years ago, my sales team, every photo we have taken, all good customer photos, we put them in a Google Drive in a folder. So you go to the United Monograms folder, and then we have coffee themed photos. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeve, 4th of July, Valentine's Day. All the great pictures we have are stored into a photo album. So if we want to have like a flash sale, or if we decide that we want to put sweatshirts on sale, we can go right to Google Drive. We can find the folder for sweatshirts, and all the pictures are right there. So it's a great way to store marketing materials. And you got to build a culture in your company of putting that there, so it's there when you need it. But Google Drive is perfect for that too. Google Sheets. Dude, I think Google Sheets out of all of these is the greatest tool. Yes, it has the sharing capability. It has the searching capability. But I use it much more seriously than the other things. So every morning, the first thing I check is my Google Sheet that has like all my money on it, my personal cash flow doc. I've had it for probably about 10 years now. I started it, I think, when I was in college. I just had a Google Sheet, and it just had like the money in my bank account and the credit card expenses. But basically, I have all my bank accounts and all the money I have. And underneath it, I have like my net 30, things I owe to suppliers. I have all my credit cards, all my accounts payable. And then underneath that, I have it all added up. So it shows like the money you have, the money you owe, and then it shows how much money you actually have. And if I have money coming into the bank in a couple days that's coming in from sales, I put that in another section, which is then added up into the bank account, but I know it's not there yet. It's another section. And another section I have actually, which is amazing, of Google Sheets, is my investments, stocks, Bitcoin. If you own 5 shares of a stock, you put 5 in one cell, and then in Google Sheets, you can put this formula. You put equals Google Finance, and then you put the stock, and in real time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it'll pull up the price of that stock or that cryptocurrency or whatever it is. And then you can just take your shares times how much you owe, put that into another cell. And it's great. It pulls right from Google Sheets. Google Sheets will pull it right from the current price. So it's always updated. And you have the price of your investments, all of your investments combined in real time. I have a simple cell that shows my lifetime profits and to the exact decimal place, including the transaction costs, how much money I've made from investing, how much I currently have. That's linked back to the sheet of like money that's owned. It's an incredibly valuable tool, and everyone should have a Google Sheet where it shows all their money. If you think about how much money do I have right now, and you go to the bank, but you also have credit cards, and you look at your Wells Fargo app or your TD Bank app or whatever, you're not giving yourself the true number. You need to know the real numbers for short-term and long-term decision making. If I need to make a financial decision, the first place I go is my Google Sheet. It's in my pocket 24/7. Also every month I record a cell of my exact cash flow number on the first of the month, so I can go back and I can see over the past couple years, where was I last August? How much cash flow did I have last August? I also have another little spot on there where there's a snapshot at the first of every month of how much money I have. And another beautiful thing is that second section I have with all my suppliers and net 30s and credit cards and bills owed. Like a lot of those have their own website. So I have a little hyperlink next to each one. I'm looking at a certain credit card and I click on it, opens right up, shows how much I owe. If I want to make a payment, I can do it right there. All the links I have in a hyperlink right there on the Google Sheet. It's an incredible tool. And I also use Google Sheets for operations for my business. Basically have a factory. I have employees who print shirts, embroider shirts, shipping, staging, all the different elements of the operations. Each one of them has a shared Google Doc that we share throughout the whole company. Every single person in the company can access it. It has different tabs for different departments. It has their name up top, and it has the date down the side. So they put in each day how many products they produced, whether they shipped them out or printed them, whatever department they're in. They record that in each cell each day. It's part of the company culture. Don't leave until you put your number in. Now, I'm going to explain the power of that in the next section. But Google Docs, Google Drive, Google Sheets, incredible tools in your pocket 24/7. shareable with everybody, searchable. And the best thing about it, these other tools I'm going to mention aren't the same in the fact that Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, free. They're all free. I think we might pay like $9 a month for extra storage in the Google Drive, but they are free tools. And if you ever write anything down, it's a waste. Everything should be stored, shared, searchable, all right there. Google Docs, incredible business tool that I don't think people understand the power of enough. Microsoft Word, Google Docs, use Google Docs. Number two, the number two business tool for entrepreneurs is called Grow. It's grow.com. I already have an account, so the app, it's app.growgo.com. I use it every single day, and I've been using it for years, and I use this to make business decisions. So I'm sure Grow has some competitors. It does cost money. It's an investment, but essentially, the power of it is that it pulls in data from different sources that you can create metrics for that give you like real-time data. If you have an e-commerce Shopify store and you need to know yesterday's sales, you don't need Grow. You just go to Shopify, you see what your sales were yesterday. Facebook ads, Google ads. You want to know how much money you spent on ads yesterday. Just go to Facebook ads, the app on the computer. You can see what you spent yesterday. So you don't need Grow for that. But if you just need a quick glance of something like your ad spend percentage, I got into a big struggle a couple of years ago because I was spending too much on ads. And I learned that I need to keep my ad spend below 25%, 30, 25%. If it's over 30%, I'm in trouble. So, okay, in a day, I have $10,000 of sales and I have $2,500 of ads. That's 25%. That's okay. Now, if I have $10,000 in sales and 3,500 of ads, that's 35%. That's not good. I can't be up in the 30s. I learned that number after struggling for a long time. So I figured out how important that was to my business, an important business metric, ad spend percentage. So before I had Grow, what I would do is I would go to Facebook ads the day. Okay, I spent $500 here. Then I go to Google ads. Okay, I spent $500. So I spent $1,000. Then I would pull my calculator up my phone. I check Shopify. I have $3,000 in sales. So I spend 500 plus 500 is 1,000. 1,000 divided by 300. That's 33%. That's too high. I needed to know that number like all the time. What am I at today for ad spend percentage? And I had to go to all these different places, pull up my calculator. It became very tedious. So then I found Grow. And it's just an incredible platform. It pulls in the data from your Shopify store. It pulls in the data from ad platforms. It can pull in data from all different types of places. Then you take that data and you can make little charts and little metrics and little things that you can look at that update in real time that tell you where you're at. It's an incredible tool. Grow brings in data from social media platforms, e-commerce platforms like Shopify, ad platforms, Google Analytics. It also brings in data from Google Sheets, which in my opinion has been the most powerful. So I was talking about running my operations. We track all of our employees' hourly averages. They put in their numbers each day into that Google Sheet, which is shared throughout the company. And then on their phones, we use another awesome app, which isn't one of the 5 of today, but Replicon is used. So all my employees, they clock in, they clock out, they clock into lunch, they clock into their activities on their phone on this app called Replicon. And that's how they get paid. That's how many hours they're clocking in. It's essentially the time punching sheet, and everyone has it on their phone. So I calculate the averages. How many did you do today? If you did 300 shirts today and you worked 7 hours, that would be an average of like 42.8 an hour. So now I know that average for today is 42.8. But with Google Sheets going into Grow, I can track it month to date, week to date, today, and I can see how well all my employees are performing. And Grow pulls in the data from Google Sheets to track all of the employees' averages. And these averages are very important. One, if the employees get over a certain amount for each department over a month period of time, I give them a bonus. So it's a performance metric. But also, if I see that it's too low, for 18 an hour is what we're looking for embroidery. Over 18 an hour, if you get that throughout a month and you're the embroiderer, you get a bonus. But if you were at 16 an hour last month and this month you're at 12 an hour, I can be like, what's going on? Is this person having a bad month? Is something going on? Do they not have enough work? Do they not have the right equipment? If I'm just wanting to judge how well my embroiderers are doing in this case, and I just look in the room, I can't tell who's doing the best, who's doing the worst. It's hard to know, but then if you look at it just by just the numbers, one person has a low number. Well, it's because they left early. That's why you track the hourly average because it compares if they're there for half an hour or if they're there for 10 hours. Either way, you find out what their hourly average is. And this is all updated for me in real time on Grow. It pulls from Google Sheets, it pulls from Replicon, which has how much they're clocked in to each activity, and it helps me make business decisions in my operations. A more complicated metric that I have is I have all of our department's hourly averages. Then from Shopify, I have all the open items, and I see how long it's going to take out to get all of our current open orders. If it's going to take us on average 10 days to get out all our print orders and 3 days to get out all our embroidery orders, I need to push embroidery sales because embroidery is getting caught up. So it helps me make business decisions based upon hourly averages of our production plus open orders we have in Shopify, all pulled into a complicated metric on Grow, which just easily lays out for me how many days of work for each department. And one thing that's great about Grow is if you want to make a metric, they do have pretty good support. They'll help you make that metric. And it's very important for a business person to be thinking analytically. So I use Grow. I use the platform to track my ad spend, my employee performance, my average fulfillment time, social media, email list growth. It's a powerful tool. And if you're just starting and you don't really know your metrics yet, just like I didn't know my metrics before I figured that out, went through a rough period with the ad spend. If you get Grow, you can just start making simple metrics like sales month to date, sales sales by month, social media growth, Instagram follower growth by month. And what this will start doing is you'll start to look at things as business metrics. Just having those metrics on a dashboard, it can get you thinking in like a business analytical mindset, like a business analytical person. And when you have to make decisions, like, all right, for these embroiderers, say like the business is struggling, I have to fire an embroiderer. Who do I fire? How do I know which one's the best one? You'll think, damn, I wish I had some data because I feel like I'm just guessing. And if you think that, but you already have Grow, you can sit down, you can create a metric, and you can really understand your business, what metrics are important. For me, it's ad spend and employee hourly averages. And I have them all on a dashboard on Grow that I look out every single day. It updates in real time. It's an incredible thing. And you can't run your business on just your instincts forever. It's irresponsible to just run your business based on your instincts. I've done it before. Instincts are important, but figure out a way to use Grow or any other platform that's like this. They are the no code, full stack business intelligence software. So any other company that does the same thing as them, cool, use them, but take your data from all your different sources, pull together, Grow. Number 2, business productivity tool that I use every single day. And it very much helps me run the business. Okay. Number three, Bench Bookkeeping. Bench Bookkeeping. This is a company. I hate taxes. Of course, I hate paying the taxes, but that's part of the deal with running a business. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about how I hate paying taxes. Mostly, I hate thinking about finances like in a tax sense. Like sometimes you'll hear people say, oh, yeah, you should buy a car. You can just write it off, right? Like, cool. Like, no, it's still money. Like when I hear a business person or an entrepreneur say, talking about expenses and they're talking about, oh, yeah, just an amateur way of looking about business. I told you how I look at my expenses. I use my real sheet, real expenses, real money in the bank, my bottom line number to know what I'm really working with. Taxes are a little different. Taxes are just a reflection of your numbers, but you need a bookkeeper and you need an accountant. Eventually, one day, a company that's bigger might have a CFO, and I could have a CFO that helps me make business decisions, also does the books, also does the tax return, but I look at the real numbers, and these bookkeeping and these taxes numbers, they are just like for the government to turn in so you can have like a tax return. You need a bookkeeper and you need an accountant, and they're very different. Now, a bookkeeper, they need to, at the end of the year, turn over a very digestible financial report to your accountant, who will then take that report and file your tax return. I work with a bookkeeper on bench like once a month, and then the accountant gets the books once a year, and they file the return. And the more prepared and the more buttoned up the books are, the less hassle it is at the end of the year dealing with the accountant. Easier for you, easier for the accountant, easier for the accountant. Will make your price better because they enjoy working with you. Um, my first bookkeeper ever, oh my God, it was a nightmare. I would send him PDFs every month of every single bank account, every single credit card, every single loan. And if you put something in the wrong expense category, if there was an expense and it was supposed to be cost of goods sold, but it was put in supplies, I would have to tell him that, email him back. He would have to send me a new PDF. Oh, it was so annoying. And profit and loss statements, you think they're a way to like help you make business decisions, but no, Grow isn't for that. The problem with using a third party bookkeeper is if it's February 28th, the end of the month, and you're done, you want to know on March 1st, like what you did last month, but you usually don't get your books back until like 15 days later, which is really annoying. But I had this problem with this PDF, downloading PDFs, emailing it to the bookkeeper. I was like, I need to find a solution. This is so archaic. So I found Bench. Bench is 100% online. It links up with your banks. It links up with your credit cards. It links up with PayPal, links up with everything. You log in with your bank username, your bank password. It pulls it in. You check off what bank accounts you want it to pull in. Boom. All your information is pulled right into this digitally. Um, each transaction, there's notes on each transaction. So like, if I have an expense that is, it's supposed to be, you know, internet expense, but they mark it as supplies. I make a note on there. They change it. At the end of each month, I get a little message from the bookkeeper from Bench, and it's a little like pops up on your screen, and it says, "What category is this? What category is this?" It'll be like 20 expenses that they don't know what category they go into. So I just select which categories they go into, and then in the future, when you have an expense for that category, they already know that, if it's from Walmart, that's in supplies. I want all my expenses from Walmart to be supplies. So they know next time an expense comes in from Walmart, they'll put that right in the supply category. The computer does it. The computer knows these are the transactions, these are the categories they go in. There's some new ones every month. You have to say what they are. You have to take a look at it. And if 3 months ago you find something that was in the wrong category, you go back to 3 months ago, you make a note on the transaction, and they'll change it. It'll update your books from 3 months ago, and it'll update your books like month to date. It's all digital. It's amazing. So I get tax ready profit and loss statements, balance sheets, an income statement summary in real time. And as long as I'm on top of it throughout the year, when I when it comes time to the end of the year and I have to hand over the books to the accountant, I have tens of thousands of transactions throughout the year, maybe hundreds of thousands. I have so many transactions for my business. It's easy. The accountant gets it. He's very happy. He has everything he needs. He might have a few questions. Boom. Tax return filed. I get a bill. Taxes are done. And again, this could be a job for a CFO in the future. But if you are just starting, Bench bookkeeping is an incredible, easy digital way to make your life easier, be accurate, track your expenses. And it's all like for the purpose of taxes. So for now, for me, Bench bookkeeping, it's been a heaven send over the past few years for handling the important, but the very annoying element of business, taxes. Number 3, Bench bookkeeping. All right, number 4. Number 4, PayPal working capital. If you need cash for your business, there's no better funding source than PayPal working capital. So this option might not be available for you right away. Um, but if you have online sales and you allow customers on your store to check out with PayPal, it could be an option for you. I've gotten a loan from the bank before for equipment. It sucks. Banks suck. The paperwork, the payback process, the fees, the shitty websites, the credit cards. It's all a nightmare with banks. Let me explain. All right, let me explain PayPal working capital loans. All right. So you sell products on an e-commerce site, say a Shopify site. Your customers, they buy things, they check out with a credit card. If they pay with a credit card right on the site, they punch in the numbers, it's processed with Shopify payments. Shopify payments, they send that money to your bank account in a lump sum every weekday. People pay with a credit card, they collect the money, they pay you out Monday through Friday in lump sum payments. Now, if you allow your customers to check out with PayPal, and most sites have that, you go, you buy something online, it says check out with PayPal. If you have that and someone uses PayPal, whether it be from their PayPal account or they use their bank account linked up to PayPal, it doesn't matter. If they check out with PayPal, that money goes into your PayPal account, your business PayPal account, and then you can transfer that to your bank account. I usually do it once or twice a day or once a day. It's just revenue. Instead of coming in from Shopify payments, it goes into your PayPal account. Then you send the money from your PayPal account to your bank account. You can set up auto transfers if you want. I wouldn't even do that because I go to the PayPal account. I just send the money to my bank like once or twice a day. It's free. Now, I would say about 30 to 40% of the checkouts on the site are people that check out with PayPal. So out of my daily revenue, say $15,000, say 9,000 is with Shopify payments, 6,000 is with PayPal working capital. Cool. So that money goes to my bank account, or the PayPal account I transfer to my bank account. Cool. Over time, though, once PayPal sees that you're bringing in cash, you'll get a notification when you log in. And it says apply for PayPal working capital. So you fill out the form. It takes like 2 seconds. And you get approved for the money right away. I have been offered loans up to $10,000. And more recently, I've been offered cash loans up to $150,000. You accept the $150,000 loan, and it's immediately in your PayPal account to do whatever you please. You transfer it to your bank account, you transfer it to multiple bank accounts, you buy stuff using your PayPal account. It's just instantly in there, 2 seconds. By the time you click apply for loan and the time the money's in your PayPal account, literally 5 minutes could pass. Gosh, let me explain some of the reasons this is amazing. But first, here's the details of one of the last loans that I was offered. So I was approved for up to $150,000. $150,000. If I want to repay that loan back with 30% of my PayPal sales, the loan costs $4,041, which is 2.69%. Another option was if I want a $147,000 loan, I have to pay back $3,884. That's 2.59%. I chose to take a loan of $100,000, and I'm going to repay it with 30% of my PayPal sales. And the fee for that is $1,737. That's a one-time fee. That's 1.74%. I accepted the $100,000 offer. The total cost of the loan, 1.74%, $1,737. That's an incredible offer. That's very cheap money at that rate. You can't get a 1.74% loan from an interest loan from a bank. It's incredibly good, but it's not an interest rate. So you pay back the loan based on the sales that are coming into your PayPal account. So I'm repaying back 30%. So if a customer places an order on my website for $100, and they choose to check out with PayPal, that $100 goes into your PayPal account. And PayPal will take 30% of that, $30, to pay back the loan. Okay, so then I have $70 of cash flow, and I paid off $30 of the loan. Now remember, 60% of the customers are checking out Shopify payments, and that you get all of that money. They don't know anything about the PayPal loan. So you get a loan, you're paying back with 30% of your sales, but you're only paying it back with 30% of 40% of your sales of people who check out with PayPal. So it's incredible. And if you have a low sales month, you pay back less money. If you're killing it and you have a big sales month, you pay back more and you pay off that loan fast. It takes out 30% of any of the money that comes into PayPal to pay off the loan. The most amazing thing is that no matter how long it takes you to pay off the loan, it'll only cost you that expense I said at the beginning. For me, $1,737. If it takes me 1 day to pay off that loan, or if it usually takes a couple months to pay off the loan. It doesn't matter how long it takes. There's no interest rate. There's no fees. There's no late fees or interest rate. It's just a one-time fee. No matter how long it takes you to pay off that loan with your PayPal sales, it's the same amount. So it's an incredibly cheap rate. You pay off with a small percentage of your sales. If your sales are low, you pay off less. If your sales are high, you pay off more. It is such an incredible financial tool. And the reason why PayPal is able to do this, they do it without a credit check. They don't need you to send them a profit and loss statement. They don't need to do anything like that. It's because they already know you. They know your business. They know they have a track record of how many sales you have in coming over a long period of time. What's your average monthly sales, your average daily sales over a period of time? They know you. They know your bank account. They know your information. They know how much sales you do. So they don't even give a shit about doing a credit check. They just say, hey, our system automated that. You'll be able to pay off a $100,000 loan in, a few months. We make $1,700. You get $100,000 to run your business, a cash injection in your business. Don't worry about how long it takes to pay it off. We know you're good for it. It's an incredible financial tool. And sometimes you need cash injection in your business. If you have a growing business, you might need to buy new equipment. You might need to, use it for marketing, use it for a bigger payroll to hire more employees. You understand that sometimes businesses need cash injections. I own 100% of my business. I never had to sell a percentage of my business. I don't have any ugly, annoying loans that are 15%. And if you struggle, you still have to pay it. PayPal working capital loans. They're available to you if you have an online store and people check out with PayPal and you have a good track record of sales. It is the most incredible financial tool. Puts $100,000 in your pocket instantly. And I don't know if I'd be where I was without the many PayPal working capital loans that I've taken. Incredible tool. Number 4, business tools I couldn't live without: PayPal working capital loans. Okay, last one, number 5. All right, so the first 4 I did, they were pretty much in the weeds. I'm talking about digital organization, data, making decisions, financial reporting, funding. These are very much in the weed things. So number 5, this one's more for fun. And number 5 is the Oculus. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the Oculus. It's a virtual reality headset. And I don't know why I got it, but it's actually pretty cool. It has some games. It has a boxing game. It has a bowling game. Like, it has this kind of this kiddie baseball game. I saw there's some lightsaber sword fighting games that it has. I don't really play a lot of games. I'm not a big gamer. I'm focused on my business. I'm not playing games all the time. They actually have 0 basketball games, which I was a little annoyed about. I wanted to be able to play a basketball game on the VR, but I couldn't find any. You can browse the internet. You can visit places, which is pretty cool. You can visit Ireland. You can visit Portugal, or you can visit the Brazil with that Jesus statue. You can go and feel like you're actually there. You can watch Netflix. You can watch YouTube. It's pretty sweet. But however, since this is about business productivity, the best thing that I use the Oculus for, actually practically, is for meditating. So over the past 4 to 5 years, meditation has become a very popular thing that people talk about in the business world, and just in general, powerful mind, mental health. It's good for you. You take a breath, 10 minutes. You are supposed to ignore thoughts that come into your head. So it's like a weightlifting tool for the brain to be able to focus on one thing and ignore other thoughts that come into your brain. I like meditating. I've been doing it. I meditate for the past 4 to 5 years. I've been meditating, and I went through a 3-month stage where I meditated every single day. And now I probably meditate about, 3 days a week. I don't do it as serious, but I still do it. It's part of my routine. I meditate. I think it's good for my mind. It's just kind of like going to the gym, 10, 15 minutes. Focus on your brain, focus on your breathing. I actually have always used the Calm app. I pay $40 a year. I put my headphones in. I get the sounds. I get the guided meditation. I close my eyes, and that's how I've been doing meditation. But dude, with the Oculus, meditation has gone to the next level. There's an app called Trip.
Welcome to Trip.
It's incredible. One, it shows you on the screen like about breathing. Like it says, all right, breathe for 4 seconds, and you go. And as you're breathing, it like sucks it. There's like this stardust, and you like suck it in, and then you go and breathe out, and you like blow out the stardust. So it actually like practically helps your timing with your breathing. So it's actually very practical to help with meditation, and it puts you in this like amazing setting. There's all these like trees and like digital trees, and then like after you go through the first 5 minutes, it'll like raise you up. You feel like you're elevating or levitating, and you go up to the next level where it shows you this like cool pictures and these trees. It helps you practically. It's amazing for meditation. On top of like the 10 to 15 minute guided meditation where you breathe in the stardust, it gives you little tools for how you're breathing. It puts you in a really cool zone. It also has the Trip app also has, I sat down near an old beat up castle in Ireland, sitting by a creek and meditated for 10 minutes. And it felt like I was actually in Ireland. It's an incredible tool. It really does make you feel when you put the headset on and you go through it. You look around, you look behind you, and you see the trees behind you. You look to the sides, and you see the trees like side to side. It's a really cool tool. It's really fun, and I spent 15 minutes meditating in Ireland the other day. It was a great break from the day. You know, when we're talking about looking at Grow and looking at these spreadsheets and looking at the employee numbers and looking at your finance sheet, looking at your funding and everything you have to do for your business, to take a 10 to 15 minute meditation break, the Oculus is a great tool for it. And I really recommend it. It was like $300-400. It's cool for games. It's cool to share with people. But the practical thing that I found from it as a business tool is that I already am meditating 3 times a week. Now my meditation has become enhanced because of the Oculus. And it's really, really cool. So that's number 5, the Oculus. So these are the 5 business tools that I look at every single day. We talk about organization with Google Sheets, Google Drive, Google Docs, data making decisions, grow.com, app.growgo.com. I look at it every single day. Taxes, financial records, easy, digital, all online. I use bench bookkeeping. I turn it over to the accountant at the end of the year, all ready to go. Funding, you need funding for your business. PayPal working capital by far. If you have an online store, use PayPal, an amazing tool to get money to fund your business. And for relaxation, for fun, for meditation, the Oculus. These are 5 business tools that I use every single day that I want to share with other entrepreneurs. I think they're very helpful. And if you have the mindset, the business mindset, and you need to start being practical, you need to start using tools, you need to make data-driven decisions. These 5 tools, I use them. I think they're great. If you're an entrepreneur, whatever stage you're at, I hope these tools can help you. I'm curious, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment of the tools that you use to help you with your business. We can start a conversation about it. I appreciate everyone listening. These are 5 business tools for entrepreneurs. This is episode 102 of the Sean Lowery Show. I love you. Thanks for listening. Let's go. Have a great week.